You're not watching this video by accident. The algorithm didn't randomly place this in your feed, and you didn't stumble across it by chance. Something far more sophisticated is happening here. Your consciousness has just made quantum contact with information that's been waiting to reach you at this exact moment in your timeline. What I'm about to reveal will explain why everything in your reality has been shifting lately, why you've been feeling that inexplicable pull towards something bigger, and why you're seeing numerical patterns and synchronicities that seem too frequent to ignore. There's a phenomenon in quantum physics called observer selection, where consciousness actively collapses possibilities into specific realities. Right now, by watching this transmission, you're not just passively consuming content, you're actively participating in a quantum selection process that's been orchestrated by the version of yourself living your desired reality. This isn't metaphor or spiritual fluff. This is measurable science explaining why certain information appears in your awareness precisely when you're ready to receive it. The fact that you're here means you've already passed the preliminary quantum screening. Your energy signature has shifted to a frequency that makes you visible to breakthrough-level information. Most people spend their entire lives broadcasting from frequencies that only attract more of what they already have. But something in your field has changed, and that change has made you a magnetic match for what I'm about to share. The question isn't whether you're ready for what's coming. The question is whether you'll recognize it when it arrives. You've reached what quantum physicists call the collapse point, and understanding this phenomenon will revolutionize how you view your reality. In quantum mechanics, particles don't exist in fixed states until they're observed. Instead, they exist in what's called superposition, where all possible outcomes exist simultaneously in the quantum field. Your electron could be here, there, or anywhere, spinning up or down until the moment consciousness interacts with it through observation. That's when the wave function collapses from infinite possibility into one specific reality. This isn't just microscopic physics. This is the fundamental mechanism by which your desires transition from the realm of potential into your lived experience. Every dream you've held, every vision you've meditated on, every goal you've set has been existing in quantum superposition, hovering in the field of all possibilities, waiting for the precise moment when your consciousness creates the conditions for collapse. What you're experiencing right now, this sense that everything is about to shift, is your awareness approaching the collapse point where your desired reality crystallizes from probability into inevitability. Consider the famous double-slit experiment that revolutionized our understanding of reality. When scientists fire a single photon at two slits, it behaves like a wave and passes through both slits simultaneously, creating an interference pattern. But the moment someone observes which slit the photon goes through, the wave function collapses, the interference pattern disappears, and the photon behaves like a particle going through only one slit. The act of conscious observation literally changes the behavior of reality at its most fundamental level. Recent groundbreaking research has confirmed that consciousness itself plays a direct role in quantum collapse. When your mental state aligns with the vibrational frequency of your desires, you become the observer who collapses the wave function of possibility into the specific timeline you're calling in. This isn't metaphor. This is measurable, repeatable science explaining why sustained focus and elevated emotion literally restructure reality at the quantum level. The mathematics of quantum mechanics reveals something extraordinary about this process. The wave function that describes your desires exists in what physicists call a linear superposition, meaning all possible outcomes coexist with specific probability amplitudes. Your consciousness acts as the measuring device that forces reality to choose one outcome from the infinite field of possibilities. But here's what most people don't understand about this process. The collapse isn't random. It's weighted by the coherence between your consciousness and the desired outcome. The breakthrough you're sensing isn't coming to you from outside. It's collapsing into existence from the quantum field through the focused lens of your consciousness. Every meditation session, every visualization, every moment you've held your desire in awareness has been building what physicists call constructive interference, where the waves of possibility amplify rather than cancel each other out. You've been unconsciously preparing the quantum field for collapse in your favor. But here's where most people miss the crucial element that determines whether collapse happens in their favor or gets trapped in endless superposition. The observer effect requires a specific type of consciousness interaction, one free from the quantum interference created by doubt, desperation, and attachment to timing. This is where quantum physics becomes practical magic. Every thought, emotion, and belief you hold generates a specific electromagnetic frequency that broadcasts into the quantum field like a radio signal. Understanding this phenomenon is the difference between unconscious manifestation and conscious creation. What you're experiencing right now is your personal frequency beginning to harmonize with the vibrational signature of your desires, creating what physicists call constructive interference, where waves amplify each other instead of canceling out. Science has confirmed that emotions operate at measurable frequencies. Gratitude vibrates at 540 Hz, love resonates at 528 Hz, and joy operates around the same range. Meanwhile, fear broadcasts at approximately 100 Hz, and doubt operates around 125 Hz. This isn't metaphorical. These are actual electromagnetic signatures that your consciousness generates and projects into the quantum field, literally tuning you into different stations of possibility. The breakthrough happens when you understand the difference between wanting energy and receiving energy. Wanting energy operates from lack, from the assumption that you don't have what you desire, and broadcasts frequencies in the fear and doubt range that actually push manifestations away. It creates what quantum physicists call destructive interference, where your signal cancels out the very thing you're trying to attract. This is why desperation kills manifestation. It's broadcasting the wrong frequency entirely. Receiving energy operates from abundance, from the knowing that what belongs to you already exists in the quantum field and is simply waiting to materialize in physical form. When you shift into receiving energy, your consciousness begins broadcasting at the higher frequencies of love, gratitude, and joy, creating a magnetic pull that draws your desires toward you through quantum entanglement. Recent research on consciousness and resonance theory reveals something extraordinary about this process. When your brain achieves what scientists call gamma synchrony, brainwaves oscillating between 30 to 90 Hz, you create an electromagnetic field that becomes the seat of conscious awareness. This field doesn't just process information, it actively participates in quantum field interactions, influencing probability collapse in your favor. But here's what changes everything about frequency matching. Your thoughts don't just generate random electromagnetic noise, they create coherent wave patterns that either align with your desires or create static in the signal. Every time you choose thoughts and emotions that operate at higher frequencies, you literally tune yourself to the radio station where your desires are broadcasting, creating the quantum resonance necessary for manifestation to occur. The moment you consciously choose to broadcast from receiving energy rather than wanting energy, you shift from being someone who is trying to get something from the universe to someone who allows the universe to give something to you. This single shift in frequency changes your entire energetic signature and begins the quantum entanglement process that collapses your desires from possibility into reality. Here's where quantum physics reveals one of the most counterintuitive truths about manifestation. The very act of desperately needing something creates quantum interference that pushes it away from you. This isn't spiritual philosophy. This is measurable physics. When you're in a state of need, lack, or desperation, you're broadcasting to the quantum field the vibration of not having what you desire. The field doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to who you are. Consider this carefully. Quantum entanglement occurs when two particles become connected across any distance, instantly affecting each other regardless of space and time. Your consciousness has already become quantum entangled with your desires through every moment of focused intention you've ever held. But here's the paradox. The moment you tighten your grip through wanting energy, you create what physicists call destructive interference, where your signal cancels out the very thing you're trying to attract. Surrender is not about giving up your desires, it's about releasing your attachment to how and when they must appear, allowing the quantum field to deliver something far more extraordinary than your limited imagination could conceive. Think about nature's most powerful processes. A seed doesn't question whether it will become a tree, create backup plans, or check progress reports. It surrenders to the same intelligence that spins galaxies and orchestrates the dance of atoms, trusting the force that beats your heart without conscious direction. The quantum field operates with precision, not cruelty. When you say, "I am abundant," 1,000 times while your body broadcasts fear, your heart clenches in scarcity, and your nervous system remains addicted to struggle, the field mirrors that chaos back to you because it reads your entire energetic signature, not just your words. Your subconscious becomes the true observer in quantum mechanics, collapsing timelines you didn't consciously choose because it's broadcasting the dominant frequency. This is why people often say, "I stopped trying so hard and suddenly it happened." That's not magic, it's quantum coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions align into a coherent signal, when you stop focusing on getting and start focusing on being, you become the signal itself, rather than someone desperately trying to broadcast one. The moment you embody the energetic state of already having your desire, you create constructive interference where waves amplify each other rather than canceling out. True surrender means you feel whole without your manifestation, yet complete certainty that it's already yours in the quantum field. You stop checking your phone for confirmation, refreshing emails for the call, or looking for external proof that something is happening. Instead, you release the death grip on timing and specific forms, allowing universal intelligence to orchestrate circumstances with divine precision rather than human impatience. The moment you reach this level of trust, reality shifts to meet you because wanting creates resistance while knowing creates flow. You're not trying to get something from the universe anymore. You're allowing the universe to give something to you that's been waiting in quantum superposition for your consciousness to create the perfect conditions for collapse. While everything appears still on the surface, an extraordinary orchestration is happening behind the quantum veil. The universe operates on perfect timing, not human timing, and what seems like delay from your perspective is actually divine coordination from the quantum field's perspective. Every element of your manifestation has been aligning behind the scenes. People have been moved into position, resources have been gathering, and opportunities have been ripening as the entire field of possibility reorganizes itself around your highest good. This is where quantum entanglement reveals its practical magic. Your consciousness has become entangled with your desires through every moment of focused intention, creating invisible threads that connect you across any distance of space and time. But here's what most people don't realize. The version of you living your desired reality has been sending signals back through the quantum field, creating the synchronicities and opportunities that have been appearing in your life. Those sudden moments of knowing, unexpected insights that seem to come from nowhere, and unexplainable clarity about directions you should take, aren't random intuitions. They're transmissions from your expanded timeline self, navigation signals from the version of yourself that has already walked the path you're currently on. Every time you felt that inner pull towards something that didn't make logical sense, every gut feeling about a decision, every time you've been guided to be in a certain place at a certain time, you've been receiving quantum coordination from your future self. The signs become unmistakable once you know what to look for. Books fall off shelves at perfect moments containing exactly the information you need. You have chance encounters that change everything, conversations that unfold and open doors you didn't know existed. Resources appear exactly when you need them, not a moment before or after. This isn't coincidence. This is your coherent quantum signal creating constructive interference with the field where waves amplify each other rather than canceling out. Your heart's electromagnetic field, which is 5,000 times stronger than your brain's, has been broadcasting a unified signal when aligned with your conscious intentions. When your heart and brain achieve coherence, you create what quantum physicists call a standing wave pattern that extends far beyond your physical body, literally reshaping probability fields around you. This is why people often say suddenly everything started falling into place. It's not sudden at all, it's the culmination of quantum momentum building behind the scenes. The field has been orchestrating circumstances with precision beyond human comprehension. Every seeming setback has been repositioning you for optimal alignment. Every delay has been allowing other elements to mature. Every closed door has been redirecting you toward the path of least resistance, where your desires can manifest with maximum impact and minimum struggle. These coordination signals intensify as your manifestation approaches physical collapse. You start noticing number patterns that seem too frequent to ignore, meeting people who mention exactly what you've been thinking about, finding yourself in conversations that directly relate to your desires without consciously seeking them. This isn't the universe playing games, it's quantum entanglement, creating increasingly obvious synchronicities as the invisible threads between you and your manifestation vibrate with approaching materialization. The more coherent your signal becomes, the more orchestrated reality appears, because you're no longer swimming against quantum currents, but allowing the field's intelligence to carry you downstream toward what's already yours. Here's what no one talks about in manifestation teachings. The final phase before breakthrough often looks like absolutely nothing is happening. This apparent stillness is actually the moment when everything is happening at the quantum level. Behind the scenes of your visible reality, the field is restructuring itself, collapsing your desires from possibility into probability into inevitability. This quiet before manifestation isn't emptiness, it's pregnancy. It's the sacred pause before birth, the universe taking a deep breath before delivering miracles into your experience. Most people interpret this pause as failure and abandon their manifestation right before breakthrough, not understanding that in quantum physics, this stillness represents the most critical phase of wave function collapse. When you're in this space, reality is essentially holding its breath, reorganizing probability fields around your new energetic signature. The field is calibrating circumstances with precision beyond human comprehension, ensuring optimal timing for maximum impact and minimum resistance. From a quantum perspective, this stillness occurs because your consciousness has reached what physicists call a bifurcation point, the moment when your old energetic system can no longer maintain its previous structure and must evolve into a more complex, coherent state. But to reach that new state, the system must first pass through what appears to be chaos or emptiness. What looks like destruction or stagnation is actually your reality preparing to reorganize itself around your elevated frequency. This is why breakthrough often feels like breakdown first. Your external circumstances may seem to deteriorate right before transformation because the old structures aligned with your previous vibrational state begin dissolving to make space for what's quantum entangled with your new identity. Plans fall through, people leave, opportunities stall, not as punishment but as clearing space because your frequency no longer matches those old patterns. Think about how nature operates in this same principle. Seeds remain invisible underground for months before suddenly breaking through soil. Babies develop in complete darkness for 9 months before birth. Butterflies dissolve completely into liquid before reforming as their transformed selves. Your manifestation follows the same intelligent design, apparent stillness while massive transformation occurs behind the scenes. During this phase, the quantum field is performing what scientists call decoherence, where infinite possibilities narrow down to the specific outcome that matches your coherent signal. Your brain and heart coherence during this waiting period determines which timeline collapses into physical experience. This is why maintaining elevated emotions like gratitude, trust, and certainty during apparent delay is crucial. You're literally holding space for your desired reality to finish organizing itself. The breakthrough happens suddenly precisely because it's been building momentum in the quantum field for weeks or months. One day you're in the same patterns, and the next day those limitations simply don't exist in your reality anymore. It's not gradual transformation, it's quantum tunneling, where your consciousness suddenly finds itself on the other side of barriers that seemed absolutely solid moments before. This stillness is your cue to surrender control over timing and trust that universal intelligence operates with perfect precision, delivering your manifestation exactly when all elements have aligned for optimal outcome. The quiet isn't silence, it's the sound of miracles arranging themselves behind the quantum veil. This is where quantum physics becomes transformational psychology. The most profound secret separating the 1% who master manifestation from everyone else isn't what they do, it's who they become. Most people identify as someone who is trying to manifest, constantly broadcasting the frequency of lack, effort, and need. The quantum elite identify as someone who naturally receives their desires because they've learned to embody the energetic signature of their expanded reality. Here's the paradigm shift that changes everything. You don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. The quantum field doesn't respond to your words, vision boards, or affirmations. It responds to the vibrational signature you carry into every moment, every thought, every interaction. That signal is built moment by moment, not in what you're doing, but in how you're being. Think of yourself as a radio. If you want to hear jazz, you don't demand jazz from the universe while staying tuned to a heavy metal station. You change the dial. You tune your frequency to match what you want to receive. Quantum manifestation works identically. You can't pull in the timeline you desire while vibrating in the frequency of the timeline you're trying to leave behind. The breakthrough happens when you understand that in quantum terms, identity isn't just a concept, it's a vibration, a signature, a code. Every identity broadcasts a unique frequency that either aligns with your desired timeline or repels it. As long as your identity says, "I'm not there yet," your frequency agrees, and the quantum field mirrors that back as continued delay. Most people try to do different things to get a different life without changing who they are inside that life. They set goals from the same version of themselves who created their current results. But quantum reality operates on a different principle. You must become the version of you that already inhabits the desired timeline, not someday when evidence arrives, but now. This means stepping into the energetic state of already having your desire before it manifests physically. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions align into a coherent signal, when you stop focusing on getting and start focusing on being, you become the signal itself, rather than someone desperately trying to broadcast one. You shift from attraction to alignment, from pulling to embodying, from wishing to becoming. The quantum field is not a catalog you browse with desire. It's a mirror that reflects your frequency with mathematical precision. When you embody the emotional tone, self-perception, and inner state of your desired reality version, something extraordinary happens. Reality starts recalibrating around your new signal. Opportunities that were always there but filtered out by your old frequency suddenly become visible. People treat you differently. Delays clear up not because life changed, but because your emission changed. The most sacred moment in this process is the identity transition itself, when you stop being someone who wants your desires and start being someone who naturally receives them. This isn't about pretending or positive thinking. It's about quantum coherence, aligning your full system vibration with the timeline that already exists in the field of infinite potential. You become the frequency first and the form follows. This is the secret that transforms manifestation from effort into alignment, from trying into being. Everything you've been seeking has been seeking you with equal intensity. Every prayer you've whispered, every dream you've held, every moment you've chosen faith over fear, has been building to this recognition. You are not separate from what you desire. You never have been. The seeming gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't distance, it's frequency, and frequency can be changed in an instant through conscious choice. But here's what makes this moment extraordinary. Your personal transformation isn't just about you. Every person who chooses to live from receiving energy rather than wanting energy contributes to the morphic field that makes it easier for others to make the same choice. Your breakthrough becomes a beacon of possibility for others ready to step into their own receiving frequency. This is why the timing is so precise. You're not just manifesting personal desires, you're participating in a larger evolutionary process where humanity learns to co-create consciously with universal intelligence. The collective consciousness is shifting, and you're part of that shift. The more of us who live from the knowing that we are powerful co-creators with universal intelligence, the more the world reflects that truth back through miraculous synchronicities and effortless manifestation. Your quantum frequency shift ripples outward, affecting everyone in your field and contributing to the global awakening happening on this planet right now. Right now, take a moment and comment below with this exact phrase: "I am ready to receive what's already mine." Don't type it casually, feel it as you write it. Let it be a declaration to the quantum field that you're stepping out of wanting energy and into receiving energy. This is your conscious signal to the universe that you're prepared for what's coming. Your comment becomes part of the collective frequency shift, adding your voice to the chorus of those choosing conscious creation over unconscious struggle. If what I'm sharing resonates in your bones, if something inside you recognizes the truth of these words, then I invite you to hit that like button as acknowledgement that you're ready to embody this frequency of living. More importantly, subscribe, not just to this channel, but to this wavelength of conscious creation, where miracles are normal and synchronicities are daily occurrences. When you subscribe, you're making a commitment to stay tuned to the frequency where breakthrough is inevitable, where quantum leaps are natural, and where your desires collapse from possibility into reality through the power of aligned consciousness. Share this transmission with someone who needs to hear it. Your act of sharing isn't just helping them, it's strengthening your own quantum signal by becoming a conduit for this frequency to reach others who are ready. Every like, every comment, every subscription creates ripples in the morphic field, making it easier for the next person to step into their quantum power. The universe is waiting for your yes. Comment, like, subscribe, and step into the frequency where everything you've ever desired is already waiting for you to claim it.